REI Co-op presents a perfect outdoor moment with the perfect gift. Picture this. You're ripping with your favorite person. Bluebird skies, blower powder, and frankly, you're skiing like legends.
So sick. Another lap?
Thanks to REI's curation, from lid to sticks, you nailed the gift.
No way. How'd you know?
Does it get more perfect than that? Give without guessing. Shop in store or visit rei.com.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Tonight, witness the end of an era. John Cena takes center stage for his final appearance ever on Monday Night Raw. One last match, one unforgettable farewell. Celebrate the legacy of a true WWE legend. Don't miss John Cena's farewell moment. Monday Night Raw, tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time, only on Netflix. Witness the moment everyone will be talking about.
She wanted us to play Russian roulette with poison fucking oolong. We can't just hospitalize her and call it a day.
I agree. What?
Yeah, why do you agree?
Because this isn't just about her mental illness. We all know what she went through out there because we all went through it too.
Yeah, except we got over it. She thinks it's talking to her again. Have you all forgotten where that leads?
Hello and welcome to Doomcoming, a buffering rewatch adventure where we are watching and discussing every episode of Yellowjackets one at a time, spoiler free. The American family is crumbling, Kristin. You try making a living in podcasts. I'm Jenny Owen Youngs.
I'm so glad I picked two, Jenny, because that was one of my two. I am Kristin Russo, and you know what, Jenny? You started this. It's done. It's going to save all of our lives, so you better not start making people feel bad about it now.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Today we're talking about the season finale of season 2 of Yellowjackets. This is episode 9. It is called Storytelling, and a lot happens, as you might imagine, in a season finale of a show.
Storytelling was written by Russo, directed by Karen Kusama, and originally aired on May 26th, 2023.
It's really like the Russo and Karen Kusama. That's like a team, A+ team for Yellowjackets. For anything, really, I'm sure. But for Yellowjackets, when I see those names, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, let's fucking go. This is the one where I just have IMDb, and I'm just going to hope that Showtime has a similar description, okay?
Oh, okay.
Heavy as the head that wears the antler crown is a lesson you don't learn until much later in life, if you ever learn it at all. Everything's about to get really wild. And then in parentheses, Jenny, earnest. That doesn't work. I just would like to, a word to the editor. It's wilderness and wild. You can't, but okay. Everything's about to get really wilderness, and we're so excited. So excited. And then it just says season finale. Listen, I can't help whoever is doing these, okay? They're beyond repair. We're going to go straight chronological for this conversation, from the top to the bottom, from the eyeballs to the entrails, kind of literally, at least in one case, and talk about this episode. Jenny, big thoughts on the season finale?
Some W's, some L's. I'm looking forward to season 3, which is nearly upon us.
Yeah.
Watching this just got me amped for what's next.
Yeah, we're recording this on January 16th, 2025. It'll go up in a week or so, and we are a month away, less than a month away from the premiere of season 3. Yeah, some W's and some L's. I like that that's just what we're saying now. Wins and losses, in case you're just really confused.
I guess you're not as steeped in sports culture as Kristin and I.
I mean, I honestly am about to get pretty steeped in sports culture because, I don't watch a lot of football anymore, Jenny, but I do enjoy a game of football. And the Buffalo Bills are still hanging in there. And not to mention, my wife is from Detroit, and the Detroit Lions are still hanging in there.
Oh, boy.
So, that's a good time. I think your Patriots are still hanging in there.
Oh, Kristin, please.
Are they not? Are they? Yes.
I mean, they're still in the NFL.
Oh, but they're not.
They haven't been ejected.
They've been ejected.
I'm saying they haven't been ejected from the NFL for being such a miserable team.
But they're not in the final. I thought that they were. I saw them when I looked to see the standings. I thought that they maybe held on in like a wild card or something. But oh, how sad for you.
They lost 13 of 17 games.
Look, I don't pay attention to that. I just look at who's doing what now. Like, I haven't paid attention to the season at all. And then when I heard the Buffalo Bills were still in and we were like rounding the bend to playoffs and shit like that, I was like, let me look at who's hanging on.
Yeah, apparently they were officially eliminated from the postseason in week 13.
Okay. Okay.
It's been a rough season, but we at least have a quarterback who knows how to quarterback. Now all he needs is to have the team built up around him. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
I will
there
never root for the Patriots.
There have been some W's, but significantly more L's.
I care about you. Anyway, probably didn't anticipate a small football breakdown at the top of Doomcoming, but who do you think? Do you think any of the girls are football fans? Like, do you think any of them were watching football before they got into a plane crash?
No, I think they're like they're about soccer and being teen girls. Not that you can't be a teen girl and watch football, but I just feel like their priorities are elsewhere.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, well, let's talk about cannibalism, the other football.
It's a good thing that Javi had a gigantic growth spurt during his time away, because now there's significantly more meat to be butchered off of his bones.
It's true. He grew a lot so we could live.
Uh-huh.
We started in 97. This is, we're laughing, but this opening scene is fucking gutting. The last thing we saw was Javi drowning in the ice while everybody looked on. Everybody but Coach Ben, of course. And the needle drop here is zombie. Yeah, Jenny's shaking her head.
It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me, too.
This would be a great place for Craig and Anna's wonderfully unsettling score.
Yeah.
Zombie, even though it is like ultimately kind of like a sad song, it sounds way too like triumphant. It's like it just doesn't. It's taken away. For me, it's taking away from the scene.
Yeah, I thought about what
sending
you
the
said
wrong message
last episode or a couple episodes ago. Whenever we got Smashing Pumpkins, that it was like, well, maybe this could be an instrumental at the very least, because the like hearing. I mean, Zombie is also like one of the most iconic songs of this era, I would say.
Yeah, it's taking up so much space.
It does, and like what's happening on screen is so fucking gutting that at the very least, even if they did something that was less lyrical driven and more score driven in some way, shape, or form, I agree would have done more for it.
I'm saying all this as like the number one Cran fan, enormous Cranberries fan. Dreams while we run to the lake to take a little dip.
Yeah.
Glorious choice.
Yeah.
This, not so much.
Yeah. And there's a couple, I will say, there are a couple choices that I really love in this episode, but this ain't one of them. Natalie's face, though, does maybe all the lift that possibly needs to be done in this scene. She's like walking ahead of the group as they carry Javi's body behind her. And so she gets to, Jenny, what's your face? Jenny also has a face right now. What are you thinking about?
Just like Travis comes out of the cabin and is like, Natalie! And it's like, okay, when last we saw Travis, he had a knife to his throat. They were preventing him from like running after to try to like help Natalie. And now what they've just been, he's no longer at knife point. They've just been sitting around playing cards.
Yeah, I don't know what unfolded in the cabin. I mean, I assume that it was something along the lines of what happened to, like, what happens in the conversation between Van and Travis later, but maybe more angry. I don't know why Travis would not have run after, especially because not only Nat has gone, but Javi has gone. You'd think Travis would have run after when he was not at knife point anymore. Knife point?
Knife point.
Yeah.
I love, oh God. They've tied Javi to a big branch or a small tree.
This is, very, very practical. This is a great way.
Super practical. Yeah. I loved, if you go back and watch when the camera moves to Shauna, she's like switching hands. She's only got like one hand on the stick at a time. And look, I know that she like, in the world of the show, she just gave birth and is recovering from that physically and psychologically and emotionally. But there's something about her like doing the least with carrying Javi and thinking about that at the very end of the episode when she's like, I can't believe it wasn't me. How could they overlook me for leadership? Not that she doesn't have, incredible butchering skills. Also kind of weird that like nobody else has apprenticed under her this whole time, but
somebody should learn. You should always have at least one backup in the wilderness, like what if a bear just eats
but also
Shauna?
maybe it's in your best interests to not allow yourself to be backed up so that you can never be viewed as expendable.
But like
if we're hunting Shauna, who's gonna butcher her?
There were not small odds that Shauna would die in childbirth. Like maybe at that point.
True.
True. I don't know. I agree. I think somebody else should have learned to butcher at this point, but yeah, Shauna, my first thought was like, can Shauna just sit down? Like, could she just fucking sit the fuck down right now? Does she need to
are you, after you, I don't know how many days have passed since this terrible event.
Not that long.
But yeah, I'm not, Kristin, you're gonna be having a baby like any minute now. How long have your midwives said that you will have to wait to engage in hunting one of your teammates post-birth?
They recommend 4 to 6 weeks, Jenny, before running through the snow. Before running through the snow with a weapon and attempting to murder one of my teammates, 4 to 6 weeks after the baby.
Oh my God, I'm your only teammate. I'm just realizing.
Yeah, I have to run so far to get to you.
Yeah, I don't have to run faster than... I just have to run faster than Kristin. It's always been true. So Natalie says the wilderness chose to Travis. Do we think at any point she is going to reveal to Travis that what actually happened is that Javi fell through the ice while he was trying to take Nat to safety? And then she just watched while he drowned?
I don't think so. I don't think she would ever tell Travis that. I mean, I think she tells Coach that, but I don't think that she's going to, especially with how this episode ends and where she's at that point, and especially knowing what she did to try to save Travis from like fucking heartbreak when Javi was missing. I cannot imagine that she would ever share this, but I do think it is what likely fuels a lot of adult Nat's behaviors and choices and actions and illness. Like, at the end of the day, it's like this guilt is, when we'll talk about it more when we get to the end, but it is literally what flashes through her mind. Oh, yeah. This moment when she steps in front of Lisa, so like, I think that this is really her biggest undoing, this choice, or, what she says is the wilderness's choice at this point. The what I wanted to say is just, I mean, maybe stating the obvious here, but the sort of switch between Travis's relief at seeing Natalie's face at like she can't even fucking look at him, and then his recognition that something horrible has happened just based on her face before we see Javi being carried around the bend, and the way that, like, I think something that the show does really well is like how the group handles the traumatic events that unfold in the wilderness at this point. Like, it is so clear that they've been out there for a very long time. And like, you know, the fact that they put Javi down and they see Travis buckle and they all just very quietly walk inside, like that later, it's like, okay, it's time. Like, they just have a very different set of behaviors than like they would have had 6 months ago, even for something like this. So it's really fucking sad and gutting, especially because, like, not that you need to be reminded, but like Travis lost his dad on the landing here and then had Javi and now lost Javi. So Travis and Shauna definitely at the top of the pile for most amount of loss in the wilderness.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either, but luckily we get to cut to the present, to the Shauna's favorite place on Earth, the sharing shack. Lottie's about to just down a glass. Lottie, so I feel very torn about the Lottie arc in the season finale. Very torn overall, and I just want to like put that on the map at the top.
Okay.
I understand that she's unraveling, and I think that adds up, that checks out. But there's some moments where it feels just a little bit heavy-handed, where she's like doing things that seem especially extreme and have no thought. And I'm not a mental health expert here, but it just feels to me like there are moments where it gets a little bit showy, like her mental illness gets a little bit showy, and sort of like, you know, we talked about the electroshock therapy that happened in the beginning and how like that's placed in shows a lot of times for like the drama of it all. There's moments here where I'm like, I don't know, like I think we could show that Lottie's unraveling without like her necessarily having some of these behaviors or choices. But she grabs a cup and goes to drink it, and everyone's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on just a second.
Yeah, she's like, it won't stop until it gets what it wants. So Shauna's like, okay, we'll have to just go ahead and give it a hunt. And then her face to everyone else as she's hugging Lottie. Oh, poor Lottie. As she's hugging Lottie, she's just like signaling to everyone else. She's like, oh, fucking no.
Ty's like mouthing like, what the fuck, Shauna? And then like takes the bait. I'll take the bait. And they're like, yeah, sure. We need masks and weapons. This is a beat that I'm like, I don't know. I know Lottie really wants to believe this, but I feel Ty does the absolute worst job at being convincing here. She just jumps on board so enthusiastically when like one half of a second ago she wasn't. And I feel like maybe they could have been a little bit more believable so that I would believe that Lottie believed them.
Yeah. Yes.
So they're going to get masks and weapons and a deck of cards with a single queen in it. And Lottie is going to leave so that she can tell all of her followers that they need to go to their little beds. They're not allowed in the woods tonight. And so she exits. And, you know, everyone's like, what the fuck, Shauna? And Shauna's like, well, she's gone, and now we can talk about what the fuck we're going to do.
Yeah. How about we get her recommitted?
And this is, I do like this. I do like Van's take on this and this whole conversation as it unfolds. And I also love, I mean, we started with this clip. Because because it's an important clip, but also because you just can't go on without hearing adult Natalie, Juliette Lewis, saying she wanted us to play Russian roulette with poison fucking oolong. That is the appropriate amount of vowels for Juliette Lewis's mouth.
I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know if the right move here is to have mental health folks come in and help her, or have a hunt in the woods, or I definitely don't think those
I don't
should be
know
the
why
only two
anyone
options.
is like, well, the responsible thing for us to do here is for us to help her.
Not.
We, 5 other survivors of significant trauma and also former perpetrators of terrible acts. We should probably just keep it in-house.
Yeah. I think that the actual healthy choice here would be for them to agree that all of them should be seeking out professional help in a responsible way, right? Like getting somebody this word committed is like a very heavy word. And I think like, you know, Van and Ty do show up later, at least we think they're going to show up later in a way that feels incredibly like queer community based, you know, like talking about like, hey, well, if we're saying that Lottie is sick, then like, Ty, aren't you also struggling with things? Like they start to maybe get to a place where it's like, hey, we're all actually really struggling. And maybe the thing to do here is seek guidance on behalf of all of us, not to necessarily get anyone quote committed, but to seek help. And that is like never really an option on the table. It like glimmers for a moment.
That's not Van. Even, I mean, that's like not, like Van is saying that stuff, but she's not saying it because that's what she wants to happen.
Yeah. But you think when you first watch it that it is. I mean, the fact that they all splinter off into their own, I don't even understand. I mean, sure, we're going to talk about that, but I'm like, what is everyone actually doing in this ending scene? But this is at least the decision they come to at the jump, is that Misty's going to find out who her doctor is. And because she's a medical professional, she's going to make a call from her Caligula phone to get folks to come to the site and take Lottie. And then they won't have to hunt in the woods because Lottie will have been taken away.
One of them is like, oh, we all went through the same thing in the wilderness. And Natalie says, yeah, but we all got over it. Footage not exactly found.
As a matter of fact, hours of footage to the opposite
effect. Found, yeah.
Found. Okay, so up to I've started calling this Lottie's Loft. It'll only exist for one episode before it burns to the ground, but this is Lottie's Loft, and Misty's really the only caretaker at this point for Lottie. She's like Lottie's main caretaker. It's kind of wild to me.
Do you remember when Mari and Misty had to hold Lottie up so that she could pee?
Yeah.
How did they get her up the ladder? How did they get her up the ladder?
I don't know. It doesn't seem like she should be up the ladder, because also later I'm like, damn, Lottie, you got down the ladder?
Well, she's magically healed by 3 bites of Javi.
Right.
As everyone knew she would be. Which is why they killed him. 4
out of 5 doctors recommend 3 bites of Javi.
No more, no less.
But Misty's up there. But the question I was going to ask is just like, I know that obviously Misty did a lot in the labor, like when Shauna was in labor. And I know that obviously Misty like really is able to do some really good and important shit. But sort of entrusting Misty alone with Lottie exclusively feels like a far jump from episodes ago when she wasn't allowed near the soup. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. Well, she can't be near the soup, but she'll be the sole caretaker of the member of the group who we're placing on a pedestal above everyone else. She's the most important person here. She's so important that we're going to kill someone else
so she
to eat.
Live. Yeah.
But let's just let Misty take care of her.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, to her credit, Misty is doing a good job taking care of her, but what? Okay, so Lottie asks why she heard Travis screaming, and Misty says, well, we're going to eat Javi. She says, we didn't kill him, ellipses, exactly. But she did.
Well,
you kind of. Yeah. A lie by omission is a lie. A kill by omission is still a kill, in my opinion. She like briefly gives us the description of the scene they cut from a former episode. Well, we decided we would draw cards and we made the queen important. And then during the chase, even though Natalie picked the queen, Javi died. And Lottie is like, I didn't want this. How could you let them? And Misty snaps. And she says what I said at the beginning of the episode. You started this. It's done. And it's going to save all of our lives. So you better not start making people feel bad about it now. And she ends this by saying, eat. Fuck. I'm eating Javi at that point. I agree with Lottie. Just do what Misty says. Because this is terrifying. And I think this is the big thing that's being threaded for Lottie is that she, in her own words, she never meant this. She didn't want this. She didn't want to be a leader. She was really just trying to talk about things that she saw and heard and felt. She was trying to be helpful, and then they elevated her. And I think that they all have some kind of understanding of how that literally has undone her completely in the years that have passed. And that's part of the story that's being told here in some ways that are, I think, good, and some ways that maybe not so much.
Downstairs, Spin Master Misty. Lottie is pleased with the wilderness's choice. Javi will save us. And they're like, Shauna? Shauna, it's your time to shine. Okay. So they brush the snow. Just once again, mixed messages about how much snow has fallen during the great blizzard of cabin fever mania. According to the butchering table, it was like 3 to 4 inches. They clean it off. They put some boards up. Why are we cutting Javi's clothes off when other people could wear them? I don't think they all get cut off, but at least one article gets cut off.
Right. Maybe they're going to use the cloth, but just in other ways.
Natalie on hand with the modesty burlap.
I know. I was thinking about this because, to be honest with you, I forgot what she was covering, and I thought she was covering his face. And it made me think, like, what would traumatize me more to see, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like really, like, seeing what Jenny would refer to as Javi's bathing suit area probably would not really fuck me up that bad. Like, I know it was for Javi, and I think, like, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, she's making the choice for Javi, not for herself, because I think, like, seeing his face would fuck me up way more.
Yeah, well, Shauna's making the choice for herself to pull her little snood over her eyes.
Yeah.
And butcher blind. She's so practiced at this that she's just doing it blind.
This is
My
cool.
goodness.
I love it.
Now,
I mean, I don't love butchering.
She loves
Javi.
it.
I love that Shauna. I love the scene, the cut of Shauna's hand, like running to his heart and sort of like carefully tracing up to his neck where she feels that like that's where the cut goes. I just think it's really powerful.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can't you like eat blood?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
seems like
yes.
a waste.
The bleeding out of a deer was a conversation we had last season, and to be honest with you, Jenny, head empty. I forget what the consensus was. There are like times when you do need to bleed a deer out before butchering, and times that you don't, and I can't remember what the rules are.
Right? Maybe it's like with Lestat. Maybe the blood is good if you're alive.
Right.
But once you're dead, the blood is no good anymore.
Sure. Jenny started watching Interview with the Vampire. We're all very excited about it.
Yeah.
And I started watching The Penguin, and I actually have a quote from The Penguin later on in this conversation.
Incredible. What a
we did a little
trade.
tradesy. We were on with Joanna Robinson, and Jenny dragged me for not watching The Penguin, and then Joanna turned it around on Jenny for not watching Interview with the Vampire. And now because Joanna said to, we're both doing the thing that we...
Well, it was always my intention to watch Interview, but then
Same.
Joanna gave me another reason, which I can't remember. I don't think I can say what it is. But if you listen to Joanna's podcast, she'll probably reveal the thing.
Nice.
Soon.
All right. So Shauna tells everybody that they should leave. She takes the little snood off her eyes, like she just kind of needed it for the first cut. You know, as in the words of Sheryl Crow.
The first cut is, of course, the deepest.
Of course. I'll always love a shot of bright red blood falling on white snow. It's always effective for me.
It's actually a Cat Stevens song, by the way.
What is?
Cat Stevens wrote First Cut is the Deepest.
Oh!
And it was originally released by P.P. Arnold.
Huh. Well,
she began her career as an Ikeette with Ike and Tina Turner.
Oh, my God. And then Cheryl did a cover of it?
Uh-huh.
Wow. I never knew that. And I have to say...
Yeah. Oh, and then Cat Stevens also recorded it in 1972. That's
amazing.
Like 5 years later.
There was a house in LA of some of our friends and some of Jenny's co-musicians that had a cat that would come by, and I just want to let everyone know that cat's name was Cat Stevens, because that's now what I think of when I hear Cat Stevens. It's that cat.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Rod Stewart put out a version. Papa D put out a version. Sheryl Crow put out a version.
Wow.
All right, that's the end of the singles chronology of the First Cut is the Deepest. Carry on.
Present day, Misty has snuck into Lottie's office. She finds a prescription bottle, Dr. Brandt. That doctor was a real doctor. It was simply Dr. Brandt's substitute that was a fictitious doctor, invisible doctor, Antler Queen, Dr. Antler Queen. She then opens the like locked cabinet to get her phone out, and there's just like an entire rifle sitting next to the cell phones. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
And
totally.
then creak.
Do we believe that her phone would still have a sliver of battery? It's not even in low power mode, I don't think.
It would have been probably more believable if it had been turned off. Then she turned it on. But probably, you know, those are television cheats that I allow, because you're really gonna like take us through the fucking phone powering on just to prove that she has battery. I'll buy it. All right, who's coming in, Jenny?
It's Walter. It's Walter and his camo high tops, and he came to help. He's here to help.
She's so excited. Her boyfriend's here. And he really is her boyfriend. She's not even lying.
Yeah. He's not, it's not like he goes to a different school. He's here. Man, I can't believe they're taking time out for arts and crafts right now. This is truly wild.
But like they have
I guess
to, right? Like
gotta.
Delay. They're like, we actually got to go to the craft store. We're missing some fucking glitter. Sorry, Lottie. Just as soon as we're ready, you know? So this is the conversation we were talking about. Van saying, Ty, we've all felt it in our own way. Maybe we can reach her. And Van is saying, you know, I know we tried, but we need to try again. Do you really think being locked up in some psych ward is going to help her? Would it help you? We handle this ourselves. We protect each other. Didn't we all swear we would? Conceptually, community-based care is something to celebrate. It's just that usually when you talk about community-based care, you're not talking about a group of massively traumatized individuals who cannot care for themselves. That's the issue here, you know, all about community-based care. But I don't think this is the community you want to find your care in. Maybe you find your solidarity here. Maybe you find yourself reflected here. Maybe you find love here. Sure. But that's not the end.
Getting rid of the other three queens in the deck. The drama, you could put them in the garbage. That's not enough. Cut them in half and put them in the garbage. No, we have to burn each one individually to ensure
blast
that it will not be
St. Vincent and burn the queens.
This song feels a little too triumphant to me. For what's going on here. I feel like that makes me feel like the intention is like, yeah, we're doing this. Not like,
right.
Right. Shauna's dulling the knives. She's unsharpening them.
Yeah, well, she didn't fucking unsharpen enough of them as becomes like, it's like you unsharpen the knives, but like Natalie and fucking Lottie have a perfectly sharp knife in hand when they arrive. So that did no good for anyone. I will say my note is Natalie dramatically burning the queens. Like, I do agree this is so dramatic. But also it does feel kind of like an adult Nat choice. You know, what the fuck did she do to get those M&Ms out of that vending machine? You know, she's really an extreme. Her choices are extreme.
Okay.
Okay. Present day, Jeff's car. Callie is suggesting that they somehow make themselves disappear. And Jeff, of course, is like, we could never Google ourselves again. Callie, do you Google yourself a lot? Now, this has come up already because I remember you making a big joke about what Googling yourself meant in season 1. It was probably with the Adam Martin of it all. But right. I had a good laugh now in both contexts, just how ridiculous this exchange is, and also thinking about, do you Google yourself a lot at being asked to Jeff?
None of my business. Then he mentions in passing to Callie that she saw Shauna almost shoot a guy. And she's like, Mom has a gun. He's like, no, she just took it off one of the carjackers. And she's like, oh, so you have a gun now because you took it from Mom. She immediately reaches for the glove box. This reminds me of when my parents found my stash of something when I was in college.
Your stash of weed?
Yeah, they went through my backpack. They found my weed. And they were like, we found that stuff in your backpack.
I know I've told this story before, but my parents once pulled we found what you had in your room. And I had a bag of weed in my headboard. I had a 6-pack of beer underneath my bed. And I had a pack of cigarettes in my nightstand drawer. So I had to really tap dance around to figure out what the fuck they had found, because they were so nondescript. They had just assumed, they weren't even trying to be sneaky. Like, they just assumed I would only have one bad thing, and it was the beer that they found. Yeah, I blamed it on my friend Ed. I said it was Ed's beer. I was just keeping it for him. A great lie.
All just keeping someone's beer for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jeff shoos her away from the glove box, letting us know that that's definitely where the gun has to be.
Mm-hmm.
Chekhov's glove box. And, oh yeah, they're parked in the Triangle Buddy Farms, Camp Triangle Buddy Inlet. Some purple people come down towards the gate, and they drive away, just as Kevin and Saracusa drive up. What do you think about that?
Yes, because of course they've been tailing them to find out where they're going.
In a desperate bid to allay my concerns about the inconsistency of various hues of purples being worn by members of this intentional community, the next scene occurs in the dye shack. And hey, these socks really look like they were all dyed with the same flower. And look, I know some people in the Discord have said things like, oh, well, like the different fabrics will take things differently. And if something was already one color, then it like won't, you know, it won't dye the same as something that started as a different color. And like, I'm taking that all into account, my beautiful friends. There are just some garments that have been worn this season that are absolutely, without a doubt, things that began their life as one kind of purple and were bought off the shelf. And I just feel like you could have just dyed a little bit more stuff. They could have just dyed a little bit more stuff and things would feel creepier. But maybe it's important, you know, when you're thinking about cinematography and stuff, to have that sort of like
contrast,
expanded palette. Maybe it would look not so great to have everyone in the same kind of shade. Okay,
do you ever want us to evaluate your show? You know what I mean? We're like, the fucking heliotrope is not consistent. God damn it!
Look, I'm just having fun.
I know.
And if you can't handle me having fun, then you don't deserve me at my not having fun, I guess.
Yeah, an interesting concept. Oh, God.
I did like that even the curtains in the dye shack are dyed a believable color.
I would hang out in the dye. That would be my home. That would be like, that's the like photo development room of the camp, you know, just like quiet. Nobody's going to bother you. You're doing your own thing. Natalie tells Lisa to leave. Lisa's like, what the fuck? And Natalie says before she walks out, I appreciate you trying to teach me forgiveness. It's a nice idea.
This is so sad.
Yeah. I just like, is this tied to, does Natalie have a knife at the end to defend herself if she picks the queen? Like, is that the vibe? Like, why does Natalie have a sharp knife at the end? Jenny doesn't know.
I guess if I'm one of these people and I know that Shauna is dulling all the knives, I'm going to have a sharp knife for myself hidden away.
Just in case, right?
Just in case.
Yeah. Okay. Like, she's not trying to overtly kill someone. She's trying, the vibe is she's just trying to make sure she's okay. But then also, why does Misty have a syringe? Why do they all have ways to kill someone? You know what I mean? We can talk about it more when we get there. But
oh, yeah.
These are my big questions.
All right. Coach comes back at the absolute worst time.
I love that his face is at first, oh my God, they got something. Like, they found a deer.
Yeah, but no. No, sir.
Not unless a deer wears
and they folded
sneakers.
up the deer's little outfit.
Yeah. It was one of those deers that wore jeans and sneakers. Sure. Oh, God. Let's hear. Natalie comes over and is like, Coach, where have you been? And let's hear this exchange between them.
I figured out where Javi was hiding. All right? I think that you and I together could probably survive the winter. Hey, do you hear me? You don't have to stay here. You're not like the rest of these girls.
Actually, I'm worse.
How can you say that?
I let him die in my place. It was supposed to be me. You're a good person, Coach. You really don't belong in this place.
You know, if I'm Coach, I'm getting the full story of what just happened before I divulge any info about a potential hiding spot away from the team.
Yeah, I agree. I also wonder, like, what makes Coach different? Like, why?
Well,
why is
like,
he...
why hasn't he eaten anyone?
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, that's a small percentage. That's it's a small percentage of human beings in this survival setting that said, I actually am not going to do this. Like, literally all of the rest of them have done this thing. And I don't know. Obviously, we can't answer that question, but I just wonder what exactly the messaging is there around Coach, because it feels like the messaging around the girls for the most part is like they're doing these horrific things, but it's also like rooted in both trauma and starvation and, you know, just like what happens to the human mind in incredibly challenging isn't even the right word, circumstances. So like, why is Coach, who is that guy? You know, who's the guy that's like, actually, I deny all of this and I'm going to leave you all and live my own life where I don't cannibalize people.
Yeah, Oh, well, Javi also, I mean, Javi was away.
Javi, yeah. I don't know that
small
Javi
animals.
Yeah, he ran and he found his friend with all the little animals that he could eat in the tree. Mm-hmm. So, you know, he doesn't get quite as big of a difference from the rest because he wasn't starving. Coach has been literally fucking starving. Like, Coach shouldn't even be walking at this point. Avanti said that the other day. She was like, how is he even like going on this hike if he like to find the tree if he's the only one who has literally not eaten food like for forever since Jackie times he hasn't eaten.
Well, they had the bird stew.
Oh, that's true.
They had the birds.
Still, he like I get him being alive, but like I don't know. Anyway. All right, so here's the Van and Travis conversation. We go inside and here's where you're going to get your penguin quote, Jenny.
Yay.
Because Van is telling Travis that she's not ashamed. She's glad she's alive just like he is. She says, I don't think any of us who are still here should feel ashamed of that ever. Let your brother save you, Travis. After everything he went through out here, don't you owe him at least that? And so it reminded me, because I'm just watching The Penguin, and very light. I'll try to do this in a very light spoiler way for The Penguin, but There's a moment when one of the characters asks the other if something they did was worth it. And they say, you know what? It's like a really, really bad thing. It's a really horrific thing. And this character answers and says, you know what? It was worth it. That you asked, that's my fucking answer. I got the club. I got a drops operation to run. My own thing. A guy like me getting all that don't mean nothing to you, but it does to me. It meant I could have a better life. So yeah, I don't regret what I got. And then they go on to say, but I'm sorry. I'm fucking sorry for everything that's happened to you. You meant something to me. You still do. And I fucked it up. And I was reminded of this in this moment because like Van is being blatantly obvious of like, we shouldn't be ashamed of what we're doing, but I don't think it cancels out the fact that Javi still means something to them and that like, you know, like that they grieve, like you can grieve Javi and also admit that that you actually are hungry and you need this food. Like and very different circumstances in these scenarios, but I just think that the characters that like just blatantly say like, I'm not fucking ashamed. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend like, oh, this is so horrible and I'll never be able to live with myself. Like, that's not how she feels.
Whew. I feel like it's a tough episode for Van. I mean, I know you just made the opposite. Like, if I feel like you were trying to make the opposite point, but no. It's a rough episode for Van. I just like, I think that like peek into human psyche is very interesting and complicated of like, sometimes we say that we feel so bad. We would have never done it. But like, the truth is like, we would have. And like, maybe you can own that. And you can also own the other feelings. You know, we're a species that really tends to be like, either I would have never done it and I'm a good person, or I would have done it and I'm a bad person. And I always like when you dig into the complicated reality of it. Ooh, yeah.
Also later,
and I mean, she's also campaigning to help Travis live.
Yes. Yeah.
Ugh.
Time to send in the clowns, Jenny.
Indeed. This is some good shit. Walter is cooking in the Triangle Buddy Camp kitchen, and Kevin comes in, and the Oscar goes to Walter Tattersall. He's like, oh, you're an honest-to-God detective? Wow, gee whiz.
It's a gee whiz.
Kevin,
it's a gee whiz moment.
Kevin, why are you accepting hot cocoa from the purple people? From a man you don't know? Why are you drinking cocoa on the job? Also, it's like night. What have Kevin and Saracusa been doing for like hours? They pulled up during the day.
They did some heliotrope dyeing in the dye shack before they started their investigation.
Nice.
I've called this cocoa PhenobarbiCocoa.
All right.
I think it has a nice ring to it. I don't know. You know, it's like, remember back in season 1 when there was like a song lyric that dropped when teenage Jeff jumped out the window that was like fucking about glitter and everybody was like, "Gah!" So I'm always paying attention to like song choices, even though I'm not sure I should be in this particular season. But Send in the Clowns is this song sort of like it's rooted in a place of you were in love with me and I didn't want you then, and now things have changed, and I am in love with you, but you have like somebody else. Like, it's like sort of like, this is insane. This is ridiculous. Send in the Clowns is sort of just like a send in the fools kind of a message, right? And this is Sondheim. And so I just thought, like, is there a message here about Misty and Walter at all? Like, it seems like by the end of the episode that like they're on the same page and they're going to like finally have just found each other and maybe fall in love. But is it the kind of thing where it's signaling to us in some way that Walter was really wanted to be with Misty, and now that Misty is like meeting Walter where he is, something's going to happen and whatever? Or is it just fucking a music choice?
Or is he just saying the cops are clowns?
The cops are clowns, yeah. ACAC. Also, before we leave this exchange between Kevin and Walter, he does say to Kevin when he asks about Shauna, there's practically a coven of them, which is one of my favorite lines that Walter has.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Callie
So
is
outside.
Yes, outside. Callie is dragging her father.
Yeah, she's like, this is all actually your fault because of your lame attempt at blackmailing, is what she says. And he's like, listen, if you were trying to support this family selling sectionals, you might attempt blackmail as well. They roll up to the door of the canteen and they see that Walter and Kevin are in there. They're discussing Jessica Roberts. As Jeff sends Callie, he's like, go find your mother. I got this. And as he walks in, they're talking about Jessica Roberts. Walter's like, my methods aren't always admissible in court. And Kevin's like, ha ha, you'd get along with my partner. Ew.
Yeah, agree. Also, Kevin is being so... I mean, Walter is very disarming, so I'm not like actually not believing it completely. It's just like Kevin is being so loose with like chatter with Walter. Like it just feels like, I don't know. But I guess the truth is that Walter really is giving him a lot of information because he knows he's about to drop dead. So I guess that's why he's keeping
Yeah.
Okay, so Jeff
is like, I can fix this.
I've got it. I'm going to be the man of this family and I'm going to take the fall. He says, I did it. I killed Adam Martin. Kevin knows what the fuck is going on here. And he's like, Jeff, what the fuck are you doing? Jeff ramping up the performance, sobbing. I couldn't tell her. I did it to protect her.
Oh my.
And I think like in this position, I think Kevin knows like you have to make an arrest, right? Like if somebody confesses to you can't not arrest them. So Jeff is sort of like, he's tying Kevin's hands in a way.
Yeah. We get another grade A, like holding the bridge of his nose, Jesus from Kevin. And then he falls down dead. Oh.
R.I.P. Kevin.
Well, out pops Walter.
Hiya. Me again. I can... Phenobarbital. Oh, surprisingly fast acting. What? Walter Tattersall, friend of Misty's. It's okay if you haven't heard about me yet. Jeff Sadecki, I presume? That was a beautiful false confession. I could see it came out of real love.
Are you like one of the cult people?
Oh, no. You want to help me move this body?
What?
Jeffrey. Does anyone call you that?
Yeah, my mom. No, she doesn't.
Okay. Listen, my favorite moment in all 2 seasons of Yellowjackets is when Walter Tattersall calls Jeff Sadecki Jeffrey sternly to get him up to move the body. I love it. The first time, I know it's coming now, so it doesn't have the same impact on me. But the very first time it happened, I honked. I honk laughed at the screen. I thought it was the fucking funniest thing I'd ever fucking seen. So these two become a little team.
Get yourself a man who will spearhead moving the body. Just do it.
Walter is taking care of business. Like
every day, every way.
He packed his purple fucking clothes. He fucking put them on. He got right in that kitchen. He intercepted fucking Kevin. He killed Kevin. I mean, listen, Kevin had some not so great moments towards the end, but I did really like Kevin back when Kevin and Nat were, again, like Kevin, remember his son? He has a fucking kid who plays soccer. That's rough. But Walter, for the one he loves, he's done a good job. Jeff does.
Just look at the trail of bodies left by the Yellowjackets and company.
Oh my God, seriously. Jeff does help him carry the body. And hey, let's go into the tree, Jenny. Let's go into the tree.
Okay, Coach has hoofed it all the way back to his tree hole, and he's having a hard time sparking a fire.
Yeah.
Now that I'm immersed deeply in the culture of Survivor, I can only think of one like that as I see somebody trying to make fire. I'm like, yeah, no, you gotta get your spark, you gotta have your tinder, your flint.
He's just got 2 rocks.
I know this is not They don't even make people do it like this on Survivor.
I just feel like, honestly, not to put too much pressure on these guys, but if you're out in the wilderness for this long, I feel like everyone could probably start a fire pretty quickly, right? Like, don't you think they'd get practice?
Everyone
or maybe
but
not, because
Jackie.
they just keep the fire burning, so they really only had to get it started a couple times.
Right.
Okay. Inside the cabin, Shauna
Okay,
enters.
What? She's got her little tray of meats and also an entire human heart. And here's my question.
Okay.
Why is it that Travis has to take a bite of this raw heart to get things started? You know that thing is chewy as hell.
Hey, Khaleesi did it,
That's different.
Well, I don't know that he has to. I mean,
It seems
literally,
like nobody is willing to start until he does this weird thing.
I don't think so. I think that Shauna just wanted him to like put it in the fucking pan because the cut to the girls, the reactions of the girls in the cabin are unbelievable. They're like, what the fuck? I got that more than like they were wanting Travis to take a bite of this. But I did a little bit of like Googling the kind that is everyone's business. And
okay.
And there's so many different origins of this that I'm not putting it on any one set of traditions, but it is very common. I mean, if you look up eating the heart of your first kill, it's your first kill that it usually is, like, ever, like if you are a hunter and you go out and you've never had a kill before, it is not, I shouldn't say it's common, but it is not uncommon. It is easily searchable that this is a tradition in, I think, several cultures to take one bite of the heart as a way to like honor the animal, and as a way, and I read in some things, as a way to like take the spirit of that animal into yourself. So it's rooted in a place. Where it comes from for Travis, I don't know, but I do think that the show is trying to like signal to us, the longer that you're away from society and the longer you're out there in the wilderness and the wild, the closer you get to some of the things that like just naturally happened in like the evolution of civilization. Like you just start to like tap into that. So definitely not I don't want to do it myself, but it is a thing, and this is notably their first kill. I mean, Jackie was not their first kill. Javi was.
Right.
So, also, just I bet you that Shauna could make a really beautiful charcuterie board, because like her presentation of this meat is just delightful. She's done a beautiful job, and I feel like she deserves credit where credit is due.
I can't get involved in giving Shauna credit.
She just did a really good job for her team.
How much more meat do you think is out in the shed?
A lot. I think there's a lot more meat. I think this is like maybe like half a thigh,
I really hope that this time they have the good sense to make bone broth.
Yeah, I think they will. They're not fucking around anymore. They had to sort of like get off their training wheels with Jackie, but I think they're ready to go full in.
The way that they scurry to throw the meat in the pan, it reminds me of let's see, in Austin, Texas. I was playing at the Cactus Cafe, which is on the campus of UT Austin. And my friend of the pod, Molly, who writes episodes of 911 Lone Star and now 911 regular flavor. Molly attended UT. I was there on campus playing a show. I was opening, and I finished my set, and then I went out to get some food to bring back to the venue. And then to chill while the rest of the show happened. And I picked up some pizza from a pizza place, and there are these low stone walls all over the campus, and I was walking along one of them, and I was on the phone with my friend Molly, And I was like, yo, I'm on your campus. I play the show. I got this pizza from this place. And I like set the box down on the stone wall. And from unseen cracks in the stone wall, immediately a fleet of roaches just flew upwards.
Ew, Jenny.
Out of the cracks. I know. And I was like, I screamed and I was like, Molly. And she was like, oh, did you put food down on the wall? I was like, yes. Oh, that's what happened.
Oh,
so
my God.
If you're ever at UT Austin, do not put food on the low walls. You will be attacked by cockroaches. I should say your food will be attacked by cockroaches.
Wow, that is fucking intense and terrifying. I wonder if that'll make its way into an episode of 911 at some point.
I can only hope.
Oh, yeah, I scolded them in the scene where we see them tossing the meat in, and I said, girls, don't crowd the pan. Let the meat cook before you're throwing it in there. Okay.
Okay, so Misty takes some meat up to Lottie. Oh no. And Lottie's like, I thought it wanted what was best for us, and now I'm not so sure. And
yeah, also I realized I said before she said eat. She doesn't say eat before. There's nothing to eat before. That's my bad. I'm sorry. It burned into my brain and I had to say it.
I mean. Yeah, so Misty's like, your team needs you. Eat. Lottie eats, cueing one of the best uses of music in this show, I think.
Yes.
To date. God is Alive, Magic is Afoot by Buffy St. Marie bridges us from Lottie in the past to Lottie in the present.
This song is so haunting and good and does exactly what a song should be doing. It's just like, oh, perfect. It's so overwhelming, and it's also so expansive, and like what it's talking, like you kind of like know what it's talking about and you don't, all at the same time. Also Buffy St. Marie, just a great name all around.
Totally.
Buffy St. Marie, I don't know if this is something that even needs inclusion in the pod, but I was reading about her, and there's a lot of controversy around her because she claimed to be adopted from an indigenous tribe in Canada, or she at first she just identified as an indigenous person, as part of the Cree tribe. And then that came under question because both of her parents were white. And there's just a whole, it's very complicated because it seems like it could go either way. And I don't really know. It seems like her parents were white and she claimed indigenous ancestry. But then there's like complications because birth certificates and birth records and what have you. But then like people took DNA. There's just like this whole fucking thing about.
Oh my gosh.
So if you want to like learn more about that or read more about that, I just want to I went to just find out who she was and was like, oh wow, like she co-wrote Up Where We Belong, the Academy Award for Best Original Song, An Officer and a Gentleman, 1983. She's done some really cool shit. She seems like a really cool lady. And then I got deeper into my reading and was like, whoa, what is happening here? Regardless, this song fucking rocks.
It does.
God is alive, magic is afoot. Magic is alive, God is afoot. Everything is everything. It's perfect.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies just to see if you could save some cash? Well, Progressive makes it easy. Just drop in some details about yourself and see if you're eligible to save money when you bundle your home and auto policies. The process only takes minutes, and it could mean hundreds more in your pocket. Visit Progressive.com after this episode to see if you could save. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary, not available in all states.
This podcast is brought to you by Carvana. Carvana lets you buy your next car on your terms. Explore a massive inventory online, filter for what matters, and find your perfect match. Then choose delivery to your home or pick it up at one of Carvana's iconic car vending machines. Every car also comes with a 7-day money-back guarantee, so you can make sure it's the right fit. Buy your car on Carvana. Delivery or pickup fees may apply. Limitations and exclusions may apply. See our 7-day return policy at Carvana.com.
Carvana. Running a business comes with a lot of what-ifs. But luckily, there's a simple answer to them. Shopify. It's the commerce platform behind millions of businesses, including Thrive Cosmetics and Momofuku. And it'll help you with everything you need. From website design and marketing to boosting sales and expanding operations, Shopify can get the job done and make your dream a reality. Turn those what-ifs into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.
Okay. Well, what happens here? I don't know. Lottie sees the lock is broken, is surprised, but then she slowly smiles. Tell me the meaning there. What has happened there? Does she understand that, like, there's so much that's internal with these Yellowjackets in the present day that I am just like, what is actually happening inside of any of their minds? And you really do not know. I mean, Shauna, you kind of figure out what's in her mind because she's forced to speak towards the end. But like, what's happening with everyone?
I mean, Van wants the hunt to happen because she wants to not have cancer. She wants to not die. And I was thinking a lot about last episode when Van was talking about how she had sort of like cheated death multiple times, right?
Yeah.
And now here she is, and I imagine she's like, well, this is the end of my road. I don't get to cheat death this time. Maybe there's another way. Maybe there's yet another loophole.
Right. Or like maybe a slightly more forgiving interpretation is like, she's going to die anyway. So like she could either pick the queen and die, or...
Oh, interesting.
Someone else could die and then maybe she won't die. Right. Like truly, like, instead of just trying to live, she's just like, let the wilderness choose. But like, she kind of has nothing to, she's the only one of them that like really feels she has nothing to lose because she's got months left anyway. If she really just was like, well, I have nothing left to lose, she could just say, sacrifice me. I'm about to die. And then you could all live.
But that doesn't work. No. It doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't work that way.
Okay. Ty cancels the crisis team call that's been made, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Shortly thereafter, Misty sort of reveals, at least to us, that it was she and Walter who made the original call to the crisis team.
Natalie tucks her sharp knife up her sleeve. I love her jacket. I think it's from Free People. It's so great.
Lottie arrives and we're ready to go.
I have a note that Ty has never looked more gay in her life than she does at this fire.
You know what's wild is you said that last episode when she was still wearing this exact same outfit, and she may have also been at a fire with Van drinking.
It's like the outfit, but also her like movements. Like
she's definitely gotten a lot gayer,
right? And I wonder if part of it is also because like you imagine that like the older version and younger version of these actors are spending a lot of time together, and like young Ty right is definitely moving around as a queer person, sort of occupies space. So I wonder if Tawny also is just like picking that up and like embodying.
I actually don't think they're spending a ton of time together, Kristin, because they're not shooting together. I think in an interview that I was reading with Melanie Linsky, she was talking about how they do like 1 week on shooting with the adult cast and then 1 week on shooting with the young cast. And like, sure, they're like doing press together and like having dinner in Instagram photos and whatnot together. But like, I would say the younger cast and the older cast are spending much, much, much more time with themselves in their individual sort of time capsules.
Right. I just thought that like as part of their craft, they would be like part of it would be, continuing
that's interesting.
Study
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, who knows? So Lottie comes out and she's like, when Lottie comes out, this is another moment where I was like, she's so manic at this point. Like, and how can you judge? How can you really draw a line? I don't know. It just seems so, at the very least, it seems like such a far jump from where we even were last episode. And I know she's just realized her therapist wasn't real. And I know, she's had a couple of like pretty big things happen, but I just feel like maybe it could have been a little more subtle, in the choices that they made for adult Lottie. Oh no. Callie and Saracusa meet in the woods. Of course she has the fucking gun. Of course she has the gun.
Well, sure. Of course. Her first order of business was to go back wherever they parked the car and get the gun out of the glove box.
Shit, the something apple doesn't fall far from the something tree. I can't remember what Saracusa said. It's man-eating tree.
It's fucked up man-eating tree. The psychopath apple doesn't fall far from the fucked up man-eating tree.
Nice.
That's what I can't believe I can't remember it because I'm always saying it. They're in the middle of their little chat when he gets a call from Kevin's phone. And Walter is doing a little editing magic, holding fellas, is it gay to hold two phones up to each other?
It does really have the pointer finger to pointer finger energy to it. Yeah.
And he's like, whoa. So he's doing this little editing job where he's kind of like caught. He was recording his conversation with Kevin and is like kind of cutting it up and the fuck you doing? Shauna Sadecki, da. So Syracuse is like, oh no, I better go find Kevin immediately. I guess I'll just leave Callie here in the woods.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Like he definitely would have taken Callie with him or tried to. But the thing is if he did that, then Callie would have probably just shot him. So
yeah.
The story must go on.
So Walter hucks Kevin's phone into the trunk with Kevin's body, and he and Jeff walk away.
Would love to know what they chat about during this small little window of time while Syracuse comes up to the car. What are they talking about,
Okay. Over at the bonfire, here are stall tactics being put into effect. Misty's like, is everyone definitely in their beds? Shauna's like, I should shuffle the cards again. Thais is like, Lottie, don't you want to talk? You can trust us. Van's like, enough shuffling.
Yeah. And Ty is like, Van? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Also, we get this line when they pick up the cards and Thaisa is like, Thaisa pauses. Lottie says, are you refusing the draw? You know what happens if you refuse the draw. Well, we don't know what happens as of, watching this, but I guess now we probably do, right? I assume if you refuse the draw, then that's it. You're the meat,
yeah.
Right?
Right?
That's what I assume. Lottie seems upset that she didn't get the queen. Is that an incorrect read?
I thought the same thing.
Which is,
it's really sad to think about because I think she's just feeling very tormented and like she would like an escape, and that seems like a pretty definitive escape.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And it's like sort of where Nat was in moments, before Lottie's cult or whatever got her and sort of like scrambled around her brain and what have you. But like this idea that, and it's not even necessarily like, I don't think it's as simple as like Lottie just wants to die, hard stop. I think like she says later to Natalie, like, you were always its favorite. And I feel like there's like part of it that she just wants the pain of living with what she's living with all the time to end. But also like, I think that there's a part of her that like wants to be chosen and taken and like have that be the way that things end, It is really sad if that read is true. And I think it is. I mean, especially if both of us kind of had the same vibe.
Yeah. After this first round, then Van is suddenly hesitant, which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Of course you're going to keep going around.
But ultimately, Shauna draws the queen. And here's what happens.
Shauna, it's up to you. The way we used to, you can submit, or you can run.
Okay, time out. We're not really doing this, are we? Okay. So you've all actually lost your minds. You know there's no it, right? It was just us.
Is there a difference? Shauna? Are you running? Is that your choice?
Oh, fuck off.
Kristin?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so a couple things. Two things. Earlier in the episode, when Lottie brings the tray of white Russian roulette into the sharing shack and it's like, it won't stop until it gets what it wants. Like, Lottie herself is saying it won't stop. This external thing that's impacting all of our lives. It's making Thaisa sleepwalk, eat dirt, and try to kill her wife. It's facilitating Misty killing Jessica Roberts. I feel like Misty would have done that anyway. It's helping Shauna kill Adam Martin. It's like doing all this stuff. But
Misty least changed from it.
Yeah. That's her superlative. But okay, so we're essentially in the one breath of this episode, we're saying it won't stop until it gets what it wants, and there's no difference between it and us. So we won't stop until we get what we want. I'm confused, and I feel like this felt like a place where the show was really telling us that it's not sure what it thinks.
What it
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, well, and that, but there's so many lines like that, right? Like the darkness, it's the darkness, but the darkness is in us. It's rooted in us. It lives in us. Is it just us? Is it external? Like, did we just uncover something that is there in all of us because of what we lived through? I don't know. This is how I feel a lot of times when I read poetry, though. So I just I thought you'd be real into it.
I'm mad. I'm mad because the central sort of like core of the show that's like, is it the wilderness or is it trauma, is like, to me, not being served by the opposing statements coming out of the same mouths.
Right.
Speaking of poetry, my second point for this moment is Shauna is just walking. She's just like slowly walking away. Giddy up, Jingle Horse. Pick up your feet.
This is hysterical to me because she like starts by being like, fuck off, and walking, and then she like gets the sense that they're behind her, and then she's like fast walking, and then she like is running. And it is so, it reminds me of running away from the bear with you, actually. It's like my
Lord.
My fast walk was a lot like Shauna's fast walk. Sort of like, I'm not going to run because I was told the bear will eat me if I run, but I got to walk fast, but not too fast.
Oh my God.
Anyway, Saracusa finds Kevin in the trunk. Walter, slick as a fucking ninja, out of the bushes, grabs the gun, 3 shots, bam. Wow.
Okay, so very slick. And then he's got this pitch ready to go. Hey, wouldn't your police department be so impressed if you uncovered corruption in your partner? There's all these bank and phone records that I have prepared that will show his connection to the murder of Adam Martin, the investigation of which he was trying to impede, and also the death of Jessica Roberts. What do you think? Well, I'll just, leave you with your thoughts, and then here are the sirens. There are a couple, I have some issues here.
Okay.
The forensic evidence, when Kevin is autopsied, will very clearly show that he was already dead when he was shot and that the bullets entered his body in such a way that it's not like he and Saracusa got into some kind of like altercation and then Saracusa shot him in self-defense. He shot a dead person who was curled up in the trunk of a car. You know what I mean? Plus the phenobarbital, listen,
is in his system.
I once again took one for the team and Googled, does phenobarbital show up in toxicology results?
You really do need a fucking lawyer for anything.
So many lists. Lawyers in the listenership, don't do anything yet. Just be ready for my call. But it does show up on toxicology results. So like there's a lot working against this little thing that they came up with.
Yeah, and maybe the play here, again, being forgiving and seeing what season 3 gives us, but maybe the play here is that, like, yeah, clearly all of that is very factual and clearly, I mean, Walter is the one who should know that. Saracusa being stupid enough to not think of any of that tracks. I don't know why Walter would have done that, but if they have the story start to...
Oh! Wouldn't it be cool... Wouldn't it be cool if Saracusa spins this whole yarn and everyone's like, oh, yeah, bro, wow, we're ready to, like, make you a little flower crown for the police day parade. And then after he's kind of, like, on the record, then the results come back and they're like, oh, dude, this actually looks very bad.
Yeah, also,
so you're actually going to jail.
There's nothing to say that the phone records won't point to Saracusa at the end of it all, you know? Like, and because, like, obviously Saracusa isn't going to check where the fucking records point. He's had, like, 20 minutes. So if he didn't check it and he just went with what Walter said and he did this thing, and then it comes out that all the phone records actually point to Saracusa and it's clear that Kevin was murdered, then Saracusa all of us, 2025, let it be the year that we get to watch Saracusa fucking burn, you know?
Yeah.
And I would love a universe where also Kevin winds up not, like, taking that kind of fall, you know, because I like Kevin.
He was actually, despite our allegiances to the characters on this show, Kevin was actually trying to solve a murder and put a murderer on trial.
Yes.
Okay. And let us not forget that Shauna actually did kill Adam Martin.
Adam Martin, who has done nothing wrong except for have a very suspicious tattoo on his back.
Yeah. Okay, so the hunt is interrupted when Callie rolls up and shoots Lottie in the shoulder. Lottie's like, is this your daughter? She's so powerful. Which I love.
What is up with, like... I mean, we just took like 3 steps away from Lottie, like talking to Shauna's pregnant belly and like whatever. Like there just seems like there's something happening with Lottie and Shauna's children. Is it all children? Is it just Shauna's children? Like it's just odd to me that she's immediately obsessed with Callie.
Shauna's like, put it down. Put my dear, the fruit of my womb, please. Put the gun down.
Oh,
Lottie's like, it's all happening.
It's here. It's with us. Listen. Oh, God.
Shauna's like, speaking of here and with us, where is the psych team?
She just gives it up. She doesn't care anymore. Ty is like, oh, we told them not to come. Shauna's like, what in the actual fuck?
Ty is immediately like, it was Van's idea. Van's idea. Ah.
Van says it isn't fair. She's like this because of us, which I feel like there is a very important weight there. There's sort of choice to elevate Lottie and how much responsibility. Everyone listen.
I'm exhausted watching this show.
Oh my
Having
God.
so many different feelings.
All right. Well, they're all listening in the woods. Well, none of them are really listening, but Lottie's telling them to listen. And then we go back to the cabin in 1997. And Lottie has somehow crawled down the fucking attic stairs.
She is powerful. She's been reinvigorated. You know in Mario when you get a mushroom and then you're like, burr, burr, burr,
yeah,
you're like
yeah.
twice the size. That's
Yeah.
what happened to Lottie eating 3 bites of hobby.
Little known fact, Super Mario Brothers, based on Yellowjackets.
Yeah, and 3 bites of Javi keeps the doctor away a day. 3 bites of Javi a day keeps the... Okay. Okay, everyone is like sitting around the fireplace being like, Van, tell us a story. Recount a movie plot for us, please.
You said that this was a rough episode for Van. Sure, except for this is one of my favorite moments. I've called her Grandpa Van in this moment, and it's my favorite thing. She might as well have a fucking like little pipe in her mouth. She's like, how about I tell you a story you haven't heard before? Once upon a time, there was a place called the Wilderness. Where was she going to go? It was beautiful, full of life, but it was also lonely and violent and misunderstood. So one day, the Wilderness built a house. It waited. Summers came. Winters came. Tell me I want to know the rest of the story.
Maybe next season.
Maybe next season. While Van's telling the story, we see Ben sneak out around the house. He takes the knife. He takes the matches. He takes the rope.
I think it's isn't it a hatchet that he takes?
Oh, is it a hatchet? He pulls something something sharp out of a tree stump.
Yeah. And then Lottie interrupts the story to say,
I never wanted to be in charge. It chose me, I think, because I was the only one who knew how to listen. But I can't hear it anymore. I think that's because it doesn't need me anymore. You all learned how to hear it. To feel it. Maybe what it wants for us now is a leader who can help us survive for the rest of the time we're out here.
And Lottie's like, and the new leader is Natalie. And Shauna is so fucking pissed.
She really is. Also, Misty standing up is the funniest thing I've ever fucking seen in my life. Misty's like, I'm ready. Give me my sash, bitches. So this is like real American Idol vibes, you know? Like, we're waiting. Who's it going to be? It's Natalie. All right. Before we go through the various ways that folks accept Natalie, let's go back to the woods. Misty is already at work bandaging Lottie's gun wound. Lottie is like kind of like completely lost it at this point. She's speaking in like a cadence that is just really that she is not present at all. It's still with us. It never left. You were always its favorite to Nat, which that's as much as Nat can take. Why can't you ever stop? Now, Jenny, there's a flicker. There's a shot of young Nat here that happens, and it's young Natalie, and she's in the woods, but she's full blonde, and she's like got bangs. Like it has to be season 1. She's holding a knife and she's looking up. She's wearing like a tank top. I don't know where this shot comes from. I didn't do a lot of research. I don't know if we've seen it before. I don't know what the fuck it means. Yeah, nobody knows. Nobody here knows. The two of us don't know, and we asked
I'm sure
Triangle
Reddit
Buddy
knows.
Doesn't know. As this is all unfolding, Lisa did not leave. Comes out with Lottie's rifle and says, stop, don't move. There's so many guns. Everybody's got guns. Callie's got a gun. Lisa's got a gun. Janie's got a gun. You know what I mean?
Okay. Back in the past, Lottie is like, we tried to kill you. It wouldn't let us. What can we do but coronate you? Just a little bow, little hand kiss, and then everybody kind of falls in line to do some version of the same, except for Shauna, who barely lowers her head.
I mean, also Ben is watching at least for part of this. Like he's seeing what is happening.
Yeah, and is like, ugh, she used to be my bestie.
I wrote down what they all do. Mari takes a bow, LOL. Akilah does a small curtsy, which is eventually outdone by Misty's full sweeping to the floor curtsy that actually makes Nat laugh, which makes me laugh. Melissa takes her. Listen. Okay, now we can talk about Hilary Swank in this episode now, right? Yeah. We're allowed to.
Yeah.
Because like the gayness, the queerness of Hilary Swank, and maybe her being adult Melissa points to this scene because Melissa takes her fucking baseball hat off and holds it over her heart for her fucking move to Natalie, which is
the national anthem.
Yeah, pretty fucking gay. What Van does is really sweet. She like puts her little gloved hand on Natalie's face. Ty holds Nat's hand in both of hers. Travis puts Natalie's hand on his heart, which feels massive because that's the exact move that Lottie did to Travis. Well, A, when he got a boner, but also B, to calm him down from his panic attack, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then you already said what Shauna does. Shauna like tilts her head 2 degrees down and then 2 degrees up and like tries to accept this thing, but we know that she's very upset about it.
So as Lisa continues to train her gun on Natalie, Misty is sort of edging around to try to like lunge with her syringe. While this is happening, Natalie is like flashing back to seeing Javi die and letting that happen, and also seeing Misty at the party in episode 1, which the creators of the show in an interview talked about like that being like it was like supposed to indicate in some way, it was supposed to be connected to this moment in some way, but I don't personally believe that is what was supposed to happen.
We should go back. We should go back and watch that scene. That's a thing we should do. But yeah, I mean, who knows? But that is what she's seeing.
And Natalie leaps in front of Misty as Misty lunges for Lisa, and Natalie is poke. She gets the poke. She gets the poke, the fatal poke. And should I say poke a couple more times?
Yeah, as many times as possible.
This feels like, after what we've seen in this episode, this feels like the only way that it could have ended for Natalie in some ways, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
even young Nat says.
Been headed here. Yeah, exactly.
I love the plane scene as she's dying, and mostly I love it because of Juliette Lewis, because her performance, I think, is pretty incredible.
She's amazing. The choice to make the plane empty, but the aftermath like of dialogue, like post her getting the poke, kind of like high passed and like distant and warbly, you know, is pretty great.
Yeah, it's very clear that like she is fading from one world to another, and that she's like really afraid. Like, you know, we hear them in the background, like you said, Radiohead, Needle Drop. I feel fine about this. But I feel like I would probably feel fine about Radiohead dropping at any moment in this show. It just like always seems to be the correct energy. But what do you think?
It's not for me. I really enjoyed the Killing Moon cover that occurred in the coronation scene. Mm-hmm. We did not say that. I thought that felt really good. Radiohead, I just feel like this is another place where I would have preferred, I think, some score.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little too. Radiohead has a really big sonic personality.
Yeah.
And to me, it feels like it's just like stepping on the scene a little bit. I
don't know if there's like a Nirvana song that would have worked here, but just for the like circle of Kevin and young Nat sitting in the room talking about Nirvana selling out and the black nail polish of it all. Like, if there was a Nirvana drop that could have like somehow fit here, at least that would have been a fun.
Yeah. Hey, how about Kevin and Nat dying in the same episode?
Yeah.
Okay. A question that I do have here is like, Natalie on the plane, young Javi is there and says there's nothing to be afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
Young Natalie is there. After adult Nat says, I'm not supposed to be here, young Natalie says, we both know that's not true. This is exactly where we belong. We've been here for years. Okay, so a person who is dead and an earlier version of a person who is dying.
Mm-hmm.
Then young Lottie is here.
Mm-hmm.
Natalie, it's not evil. It's just hungry, just like us. Just let it in. Why is young Lottie here? Like, to me, it feels like something is kind of established and then immediately de-established with like those who understand death via experience or via like, you know, yourself and a person you watched die are here. But then Lottie, ? I guess it's like the past version of Lottie is gone.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Or it's like, I mean, I guess it depends on how you view this scene, right? Because it could be like what is actually happening as you like go from one plane to another, or it could be that what is happening when you go from one plane to another is akin to a dream, and sort of that nonsensical, like, what are the things that come to your mind, Javi, because that's your biggest pain, your biggest guilt, whatever you as a young person speaking to you. And then like I could see how in that context, Lottie as this person who puts her hand on your heart to like center you and calm you, at least in Lottie's like best moments, I could see being there. And Lottie and Nat have a connection that I hope we get more of it, because they seem to, I mean, you know, from interviewing folks on television shows for long enough now, they probably have no idea what their fucking connection is to each other, and we've just seen it. But like in my mind as the viewer, I'm like, clearly more has happened here between these two. And so I guess it just depends. I didn't view it as something that had to be like consistent in terms of who would appear to Nat, because I viewed it as like Nat's dreamscape as she slowly succumbed to death and like was afraid and needed to be calmed, and you know, on and on and on. Christina Ricci, I think, doing unbelievable work in this scene in the woods, sobbing, I'm so sorry, when Taissa says, what do we do? And she says, nothing, it's too late. It's like fucking heartbreaking. It's so good. And so sad. And we talk about this scene now as people who've like known that Nat dies for like a couple of years. But in the moment I was like, wait, what? Wait, what?
Yeah.
Not Nat, not Juliette. You can't take Juliette Lewis away from us.
I know. No. Okay. The police are on the scene calling in a deceased female from an apparent drug overdose. This is another situation where I'm like, they're going to do this autopsy, find the weird ass placement of this puncture wound and be like, why?
Yeah.
There.
And like the phenobarbital, or like, you know, like if it was fentanyl.
We actually don't know what Misty has.
Oh,
and the last time we saw her do something with a syringe, it was fentanyl.
It was fentanyl. That's right. Okay. So that will be believable, at least toxicology wise.
Okay. So Walter runs up to Misty. He's so proud of himself. He's overjoyed to share this news. I've taken care of the Adam Martin situation. You and your friends will be safe now. And Misty's like, I killed my best friend.
Natalie would call Misty her good friend, but yes.
Yeah. But at least there's someone here to hug her when she shares this news. Saracusa giving the performance of a lifetime to a fellow officer. I can't believe it, man. I am flabbergasted.
And then like sobbing into his arms. I mean, I'm sure he is actually upset that Kevin is dead, but
yeah.
Okay, Jeff says it's going to be okay to Shauna. Some very similar exchange, but for a couple that's been through a lot more than Walter and Misty have. Shauna says Natalie's dead. Lottie, before I had any time to even unpack any of it, like this scene really fucked me up with Lottie, the way that she's sitting on the edge of the ambulance and she looks so fucking confused. And they're going to take her away. I was so upset. Like, again, like before even thinking it through and thinking about all the particulars, I was just like, no, this can't be how it ends for Lottie in this season, that like she's just being taken away. And it was a very small bandage to have Van and Ty say, like, you know, they're going to come and check on her. I just felt like after everything we've been through with this character and knowing where she was before she even got on the fucking plane, being medicated by her family, and it's no.
But she tells them, we gave it what it wanted. It is pleased with us. Her face is just like destroying me.
Yeah.
And then she says, seemingly to Van, you'll see.
Directly to Van, 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shauna's
in her diary, Natalie is a fugly slut.
Fucking Shauna's stack of slam books up in the fucking attic.
Yeah. I used to think it was Jackie who made me feel invisible, but actually it was our cabin burning to the ground that made me feel invisible.
Yeah, Shauna is really unhappy. But luckily the fucking cabin is burning down, so
it's nice to get pulled out of your own shit by, a real life situation. It would be better if it was not the cabin burning down, but
God. She grabs her diaries.
It's not just burning down. They're locked in. They've been locked in the cabin.
Locked up.
This is like the first time I'm like, Coach?
Right. Like, I'm sorry, you're morally better than them because you're not going to eat your fellow teammates, but you're going to tie them into a cabin and burn it to the ground?
Ooh, but imagine how deliciously smoked they'll all be.
I mean, it's also a waste because they're going to just burn right through. You can't even eat them after this, Coach.
Yeah.
Come on. But yeah, we assume, I mean, obviously we don't know. I mean, you know, Triangle Buddy is designed in a way where his limbs would make really great locks for doors on the outside, just sort of thread them through like a...
He wedges his little triangle like under the door, like a doorstop.
The opposite of a doorstop, and like just keeps it closed.
I don't see any interpretation of this other than it was Coach.
It was Coach. I mean, he picked up he took the rope, he took the matches. We know he needed to start his own fire, but it very much seems like Coach.
I guess it could be I'll practice.
I guess it could be Javi's friend.
It could be Javi's friend.
But either way, Shauna gets her diaries in a blanket. They're all trapped in the fucking house. Travis starts kicking. Young Thaisa giving us the thing of the thing queer dreams are made of. Just fucking hauling this axe at this door, just busting it the fuck down. I was like, let's go, Ty.
Delightful.
They're very resourceful. They all grab as much as they can. They grab blankets. They grab the axe. They grab, everything that they can grab.
They grab a little whittled wolf that Javi made.
Not to be confused with the fact that it's also a whittle wolf. It is a whittled wolf.
It's whittle and it's whittled. At least they'll be warm tonight because they have a big fire.
A big fire. That fire's going to last all night. They're okay at least for one night. Yeah. Van makes Thaisa run out before her, which I feel like was for nothing.
Why?
Right. She didn't do anything except for then cover herself with a blanket and run out. But I was like, I guess it's just because Van is never afraid of fire because she knows it can't burn her.
Yeah. And then we get the Echo and the Bunnymen original version of the Killing Moon dropped here, which is also very pleasing.
Their faces watching this cabin burn. Lottie is at one point laughing, and if you didn't see it, go back and watch because it's incredible. It's fucking incredible. It's like the last clip of them, and Lottie is just like lost it. She's just like laughing at the fucking insanity of it all, and it's a perfect choice. And now we just have a few weeks to wait before we find out what the fuck happened after this. I hope. I mean, who knows? We're not going to start in the woods. They're not going to tell us what happened here for probably a while, but... No cabin, and Ben, the thing is like Ben's going to be in the tree. The tree's not that fucking far. You're going to run into each other at the corner store and it's going to be real awkward, guys,
Yeah. Three packs of pine needle tea, please. Oh, fuck. Okay, so let's talk. No buzz curtain required. Let's talk about what's to come, if we dare.
If we dare.
First order of business for season 3: find Coach, kill Coach. Definitely, right? If you were them, wouldn't you be like, time to kill Coach?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know what they're gonna think happened, you know?
I think Natalie is gonna put it together.
Yeah.
I think Natalie's gonna know what's up, and now she's in charge. So
Honestly,
that does not bode well for Coach. There are a lot of people on Reddit who think they're going to like cut pieces of Coach off to eat slowly.
Oh, like
rather
torture
than
Coach?
Just kill him. Not even torture him, just like, okay, remember that horror movie that you watched that you told me about called like Fresh or whatever?
Yeah.
I feel like just kill him if you're gonna...
I would be a little bit overwhelmed if they decided to like take it any further than actively killing a person to eat them. I think that's as far as they really need to go. And even though Coach has been starving, I gotta say he really seems like one of the best meals they've got. Like out of the whole crew.
High calorie butt meat.
High calorie butt meat. He looks pretty tasty. So I guess
a snack.
We got to uncover who the fucking person in the tree is, right? Or what the fuck is going on with the tree. So I'm hoping that is something that we learn about. But it seems like from what I've read, they're also going to delve into this new timeline of when they got back. So
say more about that, because I have not read about that at all.
I don't even remember what I read or where I read it, but it like there were sentences that seemed to say we will be exploring a different timeline, which in my
this came from the creators. If it came from the creators,
you can't
I won't believe it until I
know
see
it did. And I mean, my like that could be any timeline, I suppose. It could just be like a different timeline for the adults. But I feel like we got like little drips of 98 of them like getting off the plane and whatever. And it's like this huge missing thing of what the fuck happened when they came back. So my guess is that we're gonna go there. But who knows?
People, I don't know how widespread this is, but it makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, these maniacs recorded on their phone. These maniacs being Yellowjacket Redditors.
Yes.
Somebody caught a commercial during a football game that is not online yet. It was just like broadcast commercial that has like footage and dialogue that hasn't been released online for season 3 promo. And they freeze framed on Hilary Swank, a shot of Hilary Swank that's not in the officially released like online trailer. And they're like, look at her eyes. Hilary Swank has brown eyes. She is wearing blue contacts. Melissa has blue eyes. This is what we've been figuring, because if she is an adult Yellowjacket, that Melissa's kind of the only option. But a lot of people in the sub are like, I can't think, like, there is no one I'd rather see as an adult, or there's no one I'd rather see less as an adult, as a survivor, because like, okay, honestly, I know she's bound for the pit, but I would just really love to see adult Mari. I'm sad that it's not going to happen.
Me too. If I could pick anyone else to have survived, it would be Mari.
Akila. We would love Akila.
Oh, yeah. In my mind, Akila never dies. So, like, I didn't even consider. But,
right. We're just assuming Akila's fine.
Akila's just hanging out with her nephew, who's now, like, 20 or whatever, 25.
Yeah. So she's fine. And then also we'd like it if Mari survived because of the drama. But it's looking like it's probably going to be Hilary Swank as Melissa. I credit the showrunners for keeping it in their pants for once. I really appreciate that they haven't said who she's playing or who Joel McHale is playing. Thank you.
Well, and what's interesting too is that it's sort of like, my question becomes first, well, they're all talking when they're with each other like everyone is accounted for, right? Like when Shauna and Nat and Ty and Van and Misty are all together, it's sort of like very much couched in this, like, this is all of us. But,
well,
yes, I have an alternate take, which is just like, we don't know what happens. And I think there's been a lot of conversation about like the splitting of camps, right? Like that perhaps as these rituals ramp up, some of them defect and leave.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I don't know if that's part of why there could be more survivors.
Yeah. But also remember when Misty was like, I kept track of everyone, and I mean everyone. And at that point, the only person who, you know, has joined the group since then that we hadn't seen previously as a survivor was Van.
Yeah.
You know, Lottie and Van.
Yeah.
So there could be more. And it could be Melissa for whatever. I think they're just trying to fill a Juliette Lewis-sized hole.
Yeah.
In the cast,
which
is like no easy task.
Unfillable.
Right. But like Hilary Swank, wow, what a great addition.
Love Hilary Swank, but don't try to fill the Juliette Lewis hole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
No person will ever look more cat-like doing her fucking walk than Juliette Lewis. Yeah, I guess. And, you know, I mean, I'm curious to see where they go with Malter. That's a good slip. Misty and Walter. I'm very interested to see what Misty is like when someone is actually invested in her, something we've never seen before. Obviously, we don't know when they plan to have folks realize that Misty destroyed the black box. Will we get that in season 3? Don't know.
I mean, I don't think we'll ever. I think if they knew, they wouldn't be hanging out with. You know what I mean? Like,
well, that's what I mean. But I mean, Misty could die. Like, if they find out. I'm saying, like, if the adults find out. And...
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
Oh,
okay.
yeah, not in the. Not no. I don't think they know. But like, it's this massive secret. That is she going to tell Walter? Probably not, because look what happened to Crystal.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I'm interested.
I did read something also on the Reddit about the theory that the Antler Queen doesn't exist, which is sort of like, I think maybe was sparked into consideration because of what we see with Lottie's non-existent sub-psychiatrist, and is bolstered by the fact that the Antler Queen that we see in the pilot doesn't eat. Like when they bring the tray of meat, the Antler Queen does not sup, which could be because she's just a hallucination.
Right. Also, yeah. And you also sent me stuff about Shauna that you found, I think, on Reddit too, which was like that the idea that like Shauna maybe never was. If there is an Antler Queen, Shauna never was the Antler Queen.
Always the butcher, never the leader.
Until now. Because the idea is that you become the Antler Queen when you pick the queen, but the wilderness chooses someone else. As young Natalie is the first one.
We'll see if that holds up moving forward.
Yeah.
But it's definitely an interesting theory.
Also, like, how long does the reprieve last? Like, how often do they have to kill a person in the woods? And how often, like now in the present timeline, like, are they good for a minute? Clearly Van's not gonna have cancer. Clearly Van and Taissa, we've seen some shots of Van and Taissa in the alleyway kissing. So we're gonna get more of that. And you know what? I will not say no to it. I will say yes. But what's gonna happen there? What about Simone? Is she okay? Never going to see her again?
See Simone again? Probably not. Somebody, if you go on the sub and you type like, you know, the extras or extras have always been there, you'll find a delightful post where someone has gone back through like screenshots of various points in the series up to this point where they're kind of like accounting for all 19 original people who did not die in the plane crash, and like some people have been recast, but like they're kind of like finding analogs between the original cast and now, and even like it looks like Melissa was there at the funeral. We've got Mari in the original team photo. We've got Melissa as well. Somebody named Britt who was recast. Somebody named Robin who was recast.
But these Brits and Robins, they died? Because, like,
That is actually a point. And now that I'm... perhaps Robin was... Hang on a second. Who do we have now? No, we've got
Jen.
Okay, Jen's in the original team photo.
And Crystal, who died but was, there recently.
Right. Crystal's in... Crystal was recast... Crystal question mark is...
recast.
The notation on this image. But, oh my God, Van's goalie pose in the team photo is really something. All that to say, there's at least been the right number of bodies. And some of them have even been the same actors.
Great. Well, and I mean, that's the thing is between seasons 1 and 2, I feel like there was room to add the Jen, the Crystal, the Melissa. But at this point, it's sealed for me. You can't fucking bring any new characters.
We can't have any more. No.
It's done. We've seen them all at the fire. We've seen they all have a working system. So there's no more back at the plane stuff that's going to come up. We've got our full team accounted for. I'm excited. I'm very excited to watch season 3. I hope that it is incredible and wonderful, but even if it's medium, I'm probably going to have a great time. So I'm ready.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see what comes next. I feel like there's been a lot of, this and that in this season to try to get things kind of where they need to be. I think they're set up in interesting places to launch into something that'll be really exciting. And if it was as tight and crisp as season 1, I would just be so excited.
Oh, me too.
Wow.
Me too.
So stoked.
Fingers crossed.
They always are. Well, I guess, is that it? Did we do it? We talked about season 2. We're ready for season 3. I'm Jenny Owen Youngs.
That's it.
And you can find me on the internet at Jenny Owen Youngs, jennyowenyoungs.com, etc.
I'm Kristin Russo. You can find me at KristinNoeline.com, KristinNoeline. That's also where you find me on socials.
You can find us all the time talking about Buffy over on Buffering the Vampire Slayer. And till next season...
There are names that echo in the world of true crime, names that carry unanswered questions. Oakley Carlson, a 5-year-old girl who deserved safety, protection, and love, yet the system built to protect her failed, and Oakley disappeared. Her community still calls her name.
Or Ellen Greenberg, found in her locked apartment with 20 stab wounds, a case declared a suicide. But how does a locked apartment tell 2 different stories at once?
These are not just cases we have covered. They are people. They were loved, and they mattered.
Their stories deserve to be told with care, with depth, with truth.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Ricky.
We are the husband and wife duo behind Crime Salad.
Every week we uncover stories of the missing, the silenced, the misunderstood. We ask the questions that were left behind. We refuse to let these stories be forgotten.
Because behind every case is a family holding on, a community seeking answers, and a story that deserves to be heard.
We invite you to listen to Crime Salad,
your healthy portion of true crime, wherever you get your podcasts.
From the darkest corners of our imagination comes a game show that's more ridiculous than terrifying. Welcome to Tickled to Death, the horror comedy game show where nothing is sacred, everything's a little unhinged, and the only thing more cursed than the questions are the jokes. I'm Roz Hernandez, your fearless host, and each week I'll be leading a brave group of guests through twisted horror trivia, improv games, and enough sarcastic banter to make you question all your life's choices. So come for the screams, stay for the snark. Listen to Tickled to Death wherever you get your podcasts, and hit follow unless you want the show to follow you. In the meantime, don't get tickled to death.